Check, check, check. All right, what's going on, everybody? Um, we took a lunch break. We had come in and photographed all those cups that we were getting cleaned up, and after getting them photographed, we took a lunch break, and then I did some work on the backside, on the back end. We did some phone calls. Anyways, we're I was supposed to get in there and polish the rest of those cups today, and um, I just don't think I have it in me right now. So I decided to put that off till tomorrow, but I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning up the station. Uh, so I'm going to get the camera moved and probably throw on some music and just let it run, and we'll get it set up in the other room. So we'll be right back. Here's I did some modifications on our little video overlay, and see what y'all think. Check. Okay, well, so what happened is I didn't have the audio. I didn't know which audio I was using on that scene. So hold on. Let's see, Osmo. Let's see if we can add it. No, I'm not getting that to work right. All right, maybe it's another glitch in the file. Um, and then I don't know where the mic went out of that scene. So no audio, but anyways, I'm gonna just drag the camera in there. I'm kind of in the mindset of throwing up an overlay because I don't know if you all would want to be drug around the studio by a camera. So I'll be right back. All right. So this is where we were yesterday. Well, 2 days ago when we were cutting off tripods from all the cups, tripods from all the cups, and then we used the lap to get the bottoms flat. And so what we're going to do now is I'm going to just clean this up because this has been it's been a bit and it needs to be organized. And then maybe we'll touch on a few of these today, but we'll get the I'll show y'all how all these pads work to get the bottom of the cups super smooth. Yet to be able to communicate in terms of like I have no idea if anybody is here right now. If anybody has questions, so far we've been a pretty new, since we're a pretty new startup. Um, I don't expect anything, but if someone had a question, I wouldn't even know it. If I knew it, I could possibly talk about it while I, work through things. But right now, I've got to figure out, well, how can I be in my process and be able to, to be able to hear your comments, and that's something I need to work on. So, if anybody has any ideas, I certainly welcome them. Let me see if I can get a little more vantage. How's that? I've made very few, but this one I did make with a friend, and the funny thing is that it's non-functional for a teapot. I was like I said, I don't really make teapots, and so I just kind of put this shape together and threw a handle and a little spout and a lid, and then I punched holes in the bottom through here, like I think that you're supposed to do. And anyways, the glaze filled the holes in, so uh, without risk of like breaking that out or damaging it. It's just like much of my work. It's fine art because it's what people say is non-functional. This was also fired on seashells. Here, and here, 3 seashells. And then it was fired on its side like this. And so you can see how the glaze ran around the piece, and you start getting this real thin, beautiful coat. And then on the back side, very, very wild. All of these are razor sharp edges, so I gotta go through and polish those down. So that's why I have this one back to fix. This little grinding area here, it's a lot of work, but it's kind of what really makes the pieces shine. The kiln can be very, very, very cruel, very crude, very cruel, and um, and when they come out, they can be in all kinds of shape. And so between the Dremels, the sanding pads, the grinding pads, and all that, that's where these things really start coming to light, or at least being functionally useful. All right. I don't even know how well y'all can hear from here. Still, so much of this is new. If I had to, I guess I could go get my mic and wear this container. I think that maybe it won't focus on the piece unless if I'm in the way. These were the first batch of the containers. I developed a line of containers, small and large containers, or I call them smallish and largish, but they're both 4 inches in height, and they match in form. But this one, the large ones, are glazed upright, which is the very traditional and standard approach for glazing. glaze, when it melts, runs gravitationally. So as you can see in this one, running down toward the bottom. Its counterpart, the smallish vessels of same form, what I do is I glaze them the same way, except I fire them on their side fire, and then the glaze runs gravitationally again across the piece. So then when you stand it up, you get this one is, but you might get something like this. This is the glaze of another set. But you can see how the glaze here ran around the piece, and then it forms these really cool drips of glass. And these here are like insane. Like, look how fat that drip is. Some drips can be unstable and can cause problems, but if at all I can keep a drip, I love it. And then to finish that thought, so these are sets, and it's almost, I guess you could look at it like a miniature ceramic canvas from which you paint, and then the intent is to showcase or highlight the two ways, or the two more traditional ways to fire a piece by its position, upright or side fire. Oh yeah, see. So this one is the counterpart to this. So you see how it's the same glaze, but this one was fired like this. But it's the same glaze, and it was applied at the same level. So the level 1 glaze was level 1 on both, the 2 on top of that, the 3 on top of that, and then the accent. This one here looks like it had a blowout at the bottom. Maybe it fired a little too hot, too fast in the refire. I think both of these were refires, so for one reason or another they needed to go back through. And you never know when we're done. All right, I'm gonna run and go quickly grab my mic, just so that I don't have to question whether I'm coming in clear, especially since I'm walking around. A few minutes, I'll be back. Just, oh, oh, now it's working. What in the world? Check, check, check. All right. Um, that took a minute. All right. Things get messy when you're working through a process. You don't stop the process to clean when you're doing the same task over and over. And so it's pretty common to just let things go, and then it just comes to that place where it's like time to clean. And then you just clean everything down. So I was thinking, what, like I don't want to sit here and talk about, you know, process this, process that, like who needs to talk about how to clean up an area. Maybe that'll help some, and it could be, decent. But I really think that a lot of those elements or processes that, you can only really discover on your own. So uh, there's only so much you can learn from someone else before you just have to go and try it. Try it for yourself and see what process you need to make what you dream of. And I think that's what I want to find a way to communicate is it's not about, you know, how to do a task, because task, can just be, I think the task makes the difference between, the art and the craft. Is that uh, it's that one, you're creating a task, and then in another you're just doing tasks. and and I even see artists do it. I see artists, they create that one look or that one style, and because society needs branding and consistency for success, they'll take that one style and kind of make it theirs. And I know that it's got to be great to have that sense of like, I created this thing. But to stop creating something new because you think like, this is what I can live my life selling. And it's a hard question, I think, for an artist to say, do you stop and then just, you know, bring in the money, or do you just continue to find new ways to express yourself? And every day it's something different, to where uh, next year you might look completely different. But these are the things that I would love to talk about. These are the things that I would love to try to find a way to communicate, and we're just going to be here until we do. Uh, Piece by piece, brick by brick, we'll build a kiln. All right, this may now be recyclable. But yeah, I would love any advice. If anybody has any advice on what works for them, what they want to see, um, yeah, let me know what works for you. And if it doesn't, bind up my creative process, or my mission, I can change a lot. I can upgrade, fix audio, fix video, fix transitions. Our live stream earlier today, when we were photographing these, I think I had mentioned that the idea of music. I know we all love music, and I know, you know, uh, it's very, people are very particular. So I've always kind of thought, I don't want to just put music up for the sake of putting music up. But I would love I would love something that just really kind of fits our groove and what we're doing, and then maybe adds a level of compatibility. I'm really impressed with the availability of tools and equipment that were not uh, available not too long ago, and that availability is brought to us at a great cost. And I would love to find a way to share, repay, build, encourage, give back. Um, I don't take I don't take any of that lightly, even if I have yet to find a way to fulfill that desire. All right, so this is my diamond pad that I use to grind the bottoms of the cups off. And now I'm going to switch it out with just a regular bat and this little rubber pad. I don't even know what this came from, but I chopped it up and it seems to grab the cups just right. This bat in particular, when you line it up by these holes, and you know where the holes are by the knots on the side. But those knots have broken so many pieces that I have shaved them off. I also have padded the wheel, but I ended up uh, pulling that out and trying to clean it. I don't know if it'll go back. Yeah, every time you break a piece of pottery, you want to think how not to do that again. But man, do mistakes happen. But yeah, if anybody knows an easy and reliable way for streamers to be able to, see what people are saying without, uh, needing to sit in front of a computer screen, I would like to know. All right. I feel like that is good enough. All right. Water wheel pad. Mm. All right, let's see. I have a few minutes. Let's see if we can try one out. See if we have success, and then I think we're gonna I'll be done for the day, and then try to knock out all the pans tomorrow. That's why I think it'll be really nice once I get an extra camera running 2 feeds together, because then I can have a context shot, um, for awareness, but then I can have another one that's detailed up close. All right, so um, once the cup's on, you have to center it, and you can either you do it by putting your finger on the inside, or then like trying to tap it. But once it's centered, then you have to get the pressure on it so it doesn't throw the cup off the wheel. All right. Like that. And that's how that knuckle would come around and bust that up. And it's even worse since I don't have my foam pads. Maybe I'll go get me some more tonight. All right, let's focus. I don't know if that comes in. So, all right, so what I said earlier was um, I tried a new trimming technique on a lot of these feet, hoping that it would produce a certain effect when the glaze comes to the foot. And I, I thought wrong, and the glaze wrapped around the foot more than it normally ever has. So I'm kind of at this position of like, well, do I want to painstakingly clean each foot out, or just go like this, having that extra glaze on the inside. I think ideally it's no big deal, but I don't know what I'm gonna allow myself to do. Uh, I think my goal is going to be to polish the feet first, and then what's left I will examine, because even just putting a polish will take a lot of that off. Anyway, all right, this is what I wanted to get to today, to have this done and ready for tomorrow. I'll modify a few more little things, but for the most part, I think I'm going to be done. And then tomorrow we'll do the same thing. We're going to start a stream in the morning. I think we've been easily able to show up by 10 to get everything in order and rolling. So we'll try to maybe come back in at 10, do another little ramble, and kind of see where we're at, and then plan the day out. But the goal will be to try to get all of these cups cleaned down and finished, so that we can focus on getting this kiln behind you fired. But this kiln right here, we just finished welding this armature on to make it safe. I hope it is safe, and we're gonna fire this thing. So, all right, I'm out. If y'all have any questions, comments, whatever, advice, I love it all. And we're here to make beautiful things and to share that journey. Thank y'all so much for being here. Take care. Oh, I act like that's going to turn it off. I got to go over here to turn it off. All right.